I will be with you in a sec. I'm just trying to sort my camera out, which is giving me a little bit of a hassle here. Let's try that again. This should be it now. Behave. Okay, seems like it's behaving. OBS is doing its own thing at the moment. Sorry guys, sorry about that. It's going a little bit haywire. I can't see what exactly is. Okay, here we go. Alright, here we go. Let me try this rather, and let's just see if this works now. Please work. I need to, the problem is I'm trying to, I need to see what I look like. Is everything working okay? I don't know if you guys can hear me. I also shared a poll. I don't know whether the poll got shared. Please let me know. Okay, let's try this again, right? And boom. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, people. I hope this works now. I'm not sure if all else, let's slap the camera and the mic. Let's see. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys see me as well? I don't see any updates over here. Let me do that and that, and let's see, are you still working? Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? I don't know what's going on. It seems like there's a heavy delay on my side, and I'm not sure why. It could be my network is a little bit slow today, but I'm not sure. Okay, let me try it. Let me set up the poll again. You're gonna saying not. Okay, is the poll up again? It's not up. Slight delay on audio. We can see you and hear you. Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, guys, let's get it started. Welcome everybody to the B-Rock RC Show. I'm your host, of course, Bob Rock, and welcome once again to a new year, a new season of the B-Rock RC Show. I hope I'm coming with some new energy and some fresh new content for you guys, and I hope you guys will stick with me on this journey once again for season 3 of this beautiful podcast, bringing you everything and anything to deal with RC drifting around the world, because of course this is a live podcast for the drifters by a drifter. Hope you all have been doing well, and hope that everybody is safe and beginning to enjoy RC drifting again. I know it's been really difficult over the past couple of years, and I really sincerely hope that we are coming to a point where we can finally get on with our lives normally and not having to deal with all of these issues going on. Okay, cool. I was trying to put up a poll. For some reason I can't get it to work. We will work on that eventually. So the other thing I wanted to say was, well, actually, instead of me putting up a poll, why don't I just ask you guys instead? So the poll is, are you guys happy so far with the podcast? Is it all good? If you have any crits for me, any criticisms, any advice, I would highly appreciate it. Just message me directly or message me through the page, and let's hear what you guys have to say. I'd really love to know, get a feel for how you guys think and feel about the podcast. Maybe there's like tons of things that's wrong with it, or maybe there's a few things that's wrong with it and I could do better. But let me know, and I will do everything I can to make this podcast a lot better. I know one of the things definitely has to be that fan running in the background, but I promise I will sort that out eventually. What it is really is that I just need to upgrade my PC. So yeah, anyway, thanks to everybody who's joined in and is listening and watching the podcast. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and you are the reason why I am still doing this for a whole third season. I can't believe in myself. I know I'm looking a little bit scruffy here. My hair is doing one thing or the other. I don't know why my stream is a bit choppy. Uh, Everything seems okay. I don't know, but anyway, we're just gonna go with it as it is currently. Um, so I don't have a lot to show you guys at the moment because I am a little bit in between some major moves, so I haven't had the time to really put together the content that you usually see me doing. So usually I'm showing off a new body from some builder from around the world, or perhaps a new drift track from somewhere, or some other interesting little fact, an interesting little bit of news from around the world that I'd love to share with you. But for the moment, we want to try and make it a little bit vibey, very chilled, get into it, and just get everybody back in the mood of RC drifting, because I know for the fact I have been missing it a whole lot. I've really been missing RC drifting, and I hope I can also get back into it. Okay, so Marcia says visual is perfect, only slight audio delay. Yeah, I'm really not sure what the issue is with the audio delay, but I haven't set up any delays, so I'm really not sure why it's doing that. The PC has been acting up a little bit recently, but hopefully I can get all of those issues sorted out. So that's pretty much my welcome back speech, compliments of the season, and I hope we all have a great year this year. And I hope to get more viewers. Really, I really hope to get more viewers, and the only reason I want more viewers is because I want to try to grow the hobby more and get more people listening in. Yo, what's up, everybody? Let me go quickly to the comments here. Yo, what's up, Dirk? Hey, Christian. What's up, Chris and Dirk again, and Jeffrey. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey? And of course, my man Ricky from DNRC. Thank you so much. Ricky is all the way from the US, and we got a few guys from the UK and the Europe, and of course my fellow uh, South African bro there. Okay, so he has a bit of advice. Is switch mic off and on. Okay, I'm going. And we're back. Did that work? Is it okay? Is there a delay? I don't know. I feel like there is a bit of a delay, but you know what? I apologize. We're gonna roll with it. I haven't done the episodes for a little while, so I don't know. Maybe it's rusty. Right, guys. So let's get stuck into it. We want to make it vibey. We want to make it a bit chilled. We also want to provide some advice for the whole bunch of newbies that's coming in to the hobby. Big ups to you for joining the hobby. We welcome you with the open arms. However, we have a lot of advice for you guys, so I hope you will tune into the podcast, and I hope you guys will take the advice in good faith. Hey Marco, hey, what's up, man? Thank you so much for joining in. Marco is actually a very, very brilliant builder of shells. So go check him out, check his profile out. He's built some amazing bodies, and I know you guys are really going to love it. Still delay. It is what it is, man. I will work on it as soon as I get a chance. Okay, so there's been a couple. There's been a whole bunch of things really that's been happening, and just an FYI, if you see me looking down, I have my notes for every episode in my trusty book. So let me show you my book. This book here has everything in it. You're not gonna see it. There's some notes there. You're not gonna see it too clearly because of the light. But anyway, this book here has all my notes for every single episode from season 1. So if you see me looking down, I'm actually just looking at my notes here. So like I said, there's been a whole bang lot of stuff that's been going on from end of last year, and especially recently. So as you all know, I'm part of the Kamoa D drift team, which is an international drift team made up of some brilliant RC drifters, headed up by my good friend Daniel Christoph, and we talk every day in the group there. And a very interesting, very interesting comment was made, or rather should I say an observation was made by Rob Nick from the US. And I'm sure a lot of you guys will know Rob. He's a no-nonsense, straight shooter, tell it like it is, but I still love you kind of guy. Brilliant, amazing person, and I am very proud to call him my brother. And so he's been running things at where was it? What's that place in the US he's from? I only remember his track's name is like Dork, DORK. But anyway, he's made a very interesting observation regarding the new guys that have come to join him at his new drift track that he's set up there. And what it seems is like the new guys have this notion that, and it's a misconception that in drifting you need to be fast. And let's be real, there's a lot of people that think that speed equals a better drift. Even some guys. Yes, Omaha, Nebraska. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it, man. One day I will learn all of these famous places in the US. Yo, what's up, Cole? Thank you for joining in, man. So quickly for the people that just joined in, this is the B-Rock RC show, and I'm your host, Bob Rock, all the way from Durban, South Africa, bringing you anything and everything about the world of RC drifting. So back to the topic. Rob Nick made a quick observation, a very interesting observation regarding the new guys that are coming into the hobby and getting onto the track. They have this understanding and this misconception that speed equals great drifting or good drifting. And again, like I said, let's be real, some people who are established in the game also have the same sort of ideology, and they bring this kind of energy to the track, which we don't need. New guys, speed does not equal a better drift. Drifting is not about racing, it's not about being first, it's not about overtaking. And this is which brings me to the next point. Another friend of mine from Kamoa D, his name is David Falk from Sweden. And so he's mentioned very similar thing that you know, you get the new guys who want to try in tandem, or they come behind a newer one of the older guys, and they feel like if they overtake forcefully overtake the lead driver, then you know it's a good thing and we're doing really well. But that couldn't be further from the truth. We all know that with drifting, the whole idea or the best part of drifting is actually the tandem drift, trying to mimic the leader, trying to get in the door and stay in the door of the leader without pushing him off, and going like that all the way through the track. Now, this is something that a lot of track owners, a lot of established RC drifters need to talk to the new guys about. When you're at the track, we gotta approach the new guys. Obviously, you know, everybody's different, so not everybody would want to go up to a new guy straight away and tell him, look, you're not doing this, you know, that's wrong, that's right, don't do this, do that. And it can be quite intimidating to the new guy. So we have to try and find a sort of balance in the approach to the new guys. Perhaps one way could be allowing the new guy to do what he does, and then if there's something that he's doing wrong, we approach him in a calm and polite manner and look like, hey buddy, you know what, can I have a quick minute with you? Look, these are the rules of the track, and I see, you know, you made a mistake. Maybe you didn't know the rules of the track, and I'm not here to you know, to mow you down or berate you or belittle you, but it's just a little bit of advice. This is how your track etiquette is, and if you just follow that, you'll be okay. You need any help, come see me. So perhaps that kind of approach will help ease the newbie into the hobby and onto your track, and also perhaps that will generate even more respect for the area and the other drifters around them. That's one way of approaching. Sometimes maybe the new guy will approach you instead before you even go and look at him. So we have to be encouraging. Remember, I always say, let's encourage, not discourage. So it's just a few things that like that we gotta take into consideration. Again, stemming from those comments that were made about the new guys trying to forcefully overtake the leader. At the same time, if we as established RC drifters come across a newbie and we're coming up behind him, now we all have been there and we know how intimidating it can be leading a train, or being out there in front and having the experienced guys come up behind you, and then they come close and they put so much of pressure on you that even you look for the first gap or the first wide portion of the track and you pull off and allow everybody to go past first. Now that can be seen as being a little bit of a bully. I say it can be seen. It doesn't mean that it is that way. Now, I keep on saying experienced guys because we as the experienced guys also have a duty and obligation to the new guys to show them the ropes and guide them along the way, so that we create a new generation of well-behaved and great RC drifters. So if we find that we're coming up, whoa, what happened there? My camera fell. Stay boy, stay. How about if I do that? Is that better? Oh man, I was on a roll there, man, and this stupid camera is playing fools with me. Please behave. Okay, let's try this again now. I'm gonna leave it down. Okay. Guys, I'm so sorry about that. I really am. If I do this here, Okay, let's do this. You know what? All these gremlins had to happen as soon as I get onto episode 1. I'm so sorry. And I lost my train of thought. Okay, let's go back. So, established guys, we need to, yes, we have a duty and obligation to guide and bring up these new RC drifters and show them the way about how to be a great RC drifter. Hey, what's up, Rashad? Let's see. We'll quickly go to the comments. Marco says 100% with you. At Drift Palace in Swiss, we also like to drive like that. Makes it look more realistic too. Check out our new videos there. You will see it for sure. I will definitely check out Drift Palace. You know, I love you guys out there in Switzerland. I'm definitely gonna catch up with the videos and you know, just update myself. Yeah, geez, Marcio. Yeah, I know, I know. You don't need to say it. You do not need to say it. I know. So yes, back to the point I was trying to make. The established drifters coming up behind an inexperienced RC drifter. Now we tend to be, as established drifters, we tend to be a little bit aggressive when we in the lead, and the reason for that is we just, all we really want to do is just drift really close to the lead car. So it's a natural sort of reaction or natural sort of action that we take when we see it. But we have to keep this in mind that, hey, wait, that's a new guy. Let me back off a little bit and give him some space. Now, I just put into my words the same comment that my friend David had spoke about. This is what he was saying. You know, is that sometimes we tend to get too close to the lead driver if the lead is an experienced guy, and then we get flustered with him and sort of forcefully overtake the lead car. So, can you imagine as a new guy coming into the track, you have this established, a whole bunch of established drifters that ride right up your bumper and then overtake you forcefully, and you are still trying to find your feet, and they already coming around behind you again. So, can you imagine how that would feel to the new guy? The amount of pressure, and then he's gonna feel so intimidated. He's just gonna pull his car off the track. He's gonna take his car off the track. He's gonna sit one side. He's gonna watch everybody. He's gonna tinker a little bit with his car, and he's just gonna wait for the track to clear out before he comes in. Now, where is the learning there? How are we imparting our knowledge to the new guy by doing this? No, this is not the right behavior, and this is something that we need to think about again. And why am I flipping one-sided here? Okay, let me try it. Okay, so yeah, now like I was saying, that's the case now. So we gotta take a step back and think about our approach when we're on the track with the new guys. So, but at the same time, new guys, there is track rules, there is track etiquette. My suggestion is, and it's a strong suggestion, when you get onto the track, please go and see the more experienced guys. Ask them the questions like, guys, what's the track rules? Can you help me? How do you guys drift? Is my setup okay for the track? What are the control tires for the track? Or what tires do you use for this track? Can you please help me for a few minutes? And I promise you, 9 times, if not 10 times out of 10, you will get the help that you need, and you will have a much more enjoyable experience. So please keep that in mind the next time you get to the track. So yeah, I see that, Marcio. So Marcio says, as a noob, I enjoy following because I can follow the guy's line and try and mimic. Oh my god, this mother thing going again. Why are you killing me today? Why are you just killing me today? Why Jeez, man, come on, I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna put it down and let it face up and bring it closer to my face, so it's probably gonna be up my nose. Oh man, this thing is giving me hells today. Why? Why are you misbehaving with me today? Sorry, I got OBS set up over there, so I'm looking at the screen and looking down at the camera, and this thing is absolutely ridiculous. Why? Okay. Anyway, um, maybe if I do this, you can see my face a little bit. Oh, shit! No, that is not working. Why are you misbehaving with me? Is that okay? Is that gonna be okay for the moment? Okay, let's do this here. Then at least the glare, you guys can see my eyes here. Let's see. Okay, that's a little bit better. We're just gonna roll with it for the rest of the episode like this. I apologize, guys. I really do. So yeah, like I said, that's the story with the new guys, and hopefully we can get this. We can try and instill this sort of behavior amongst ourselves at the track, new guys as well. Perhaps we can create a culture of mutual respect and asking questions and seeking help before going ahead and jumping on the track and forcefully overtaking and unnecessarily speeding around and then just create a wholesome, peaceful, enjoyable experience for everybody, the experienced guys as well as the new guys. Hey Wolf, thank you so much for joining in, man. Really appreciate you dropping in. As you can see, my whole camera situation is all messed up, and I've got a lot of fixing to do. But yeah, not to worry. I will sort it out. I will sort it out. So now I wanted to touch on another topic, which I'm sure a lot of you guys would have already seen. Um, so please excuse me for 1 second. I'm gonna switch off the webcam for a second. You're still gonna hear me while I try and do something with the webcam, and hopefully it gets better. Okay, so just excuse me for a second. Okay, now I feel like I can talk without without having this weird camera stories going on. Right. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was I'm sure recently you guys have come across a post on the Worldwide RC Drift Group by a guy by the name of Phil Harrison. Does that name ring a bell? Phil Harrison. If you guys are regular on the on that page, you will know exactly who I am talking about. Oh, why didn't I do this before? But can I invert the camera? If I can invert it, that would be awesome. Let's see. Can you invert the camera? Let's see. Yeah. So, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Hey, William. Thank you so much for joining in, man. I'm a noob in terms of drifting, but that's fine. I mean, that's totally okay if you if you're a noob in drifting. That's okay. All we're saying is that we are here to help, and all you really need to do is just ask for help, and uh, you will get the help that you need. So for some reason I see the invert, but I can't I can't invert it. Whatever. It is what it is. We're just gonna leave it as is, and hopefully we can get this thing to work. We'll do that. Will you stay with me? So yeah, like I was saying, Phil Harrison, he posted he made a very uh, interesting video, and should I say controversial to some extent, where he's talking about all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive, and what is considered uh, drifting and what's not drifting, and blah blah blah, and all of those things. And he caught the absolute roasting on that group. Not that I'm condoning, that action, but I'm just saying that uh, he got a little bit more than he bargained for. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Can I turn it more maybe? That looks better. Let's try that. Ah, how's that? That's a little bit better. So yeah, Phil Harrison, he caught the absolute roasting on that on his post regarding all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. I mean, even I commented about it. I can't even remember what I said. But you know me, I am Mr. Diplomatic. So my comments were like so mild and put it in such a harmless way. Um, and I don't know. I disagree with some of the comments, but then he did give an explanation which kind of made sense to an extent, and that was it. Uh, for me personally, I think the whole objective of his video was to be a little bit controversial, to garner more views on his video and direct more people to his channel. So, if we apply that theory, then it's worked. You know, you guys can go on the worldwide RC Drift group and go search for Phil Harrison, or you can go onto YouTube, search for Phil Harrison, and you'll see his videos. He does have rear-wheel drive cars, but why he chose that topic, only he will really know. And I can't say that I agree or with all of what he said. I do disagree with a lot of what he said as well. I didn't like the way he put forward certain comments, and unfortunately for him, he's gotten himself a little bit banned from a couple of tracks because of his comments. But that's on him. That is his problem. So the thing is, when it comes to all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive, the facts are there, man. We have given up, or I won't say given up really, but we have done away with all-wheel drive sort of slash CS a whole long time ago. uh, and we've seen the death of CS at worldwide level when it was announced in the 2018 RC Drift World Championship that there won't be all-wheel drive or slash, not even slash, there won't be CS anymore. At the time, a lot of people were really upset about it, that CS is gone. But Michel actually made a lot of sense when he said that the reason why they're stopping with CS is because of the low numbers. So it really doesn't make sense to put in a category for something that was on its way out. And soon after, we saw the almost immediate overnight death of CS almost worldwide, and everybody went started doing rear-wheel drive. because it just makes more sense from an RC drifting point of view to go rear wheel drive. The advancements in technology and design and affordability for rear wheel drive is amazing. It has progressed so much. Um, there was only so much one could do with CS, and even then, to really genuinely master CS takes a long time. It takes many years, especially with the drift techniques that were put forward that made us that made CS really great. So a lot of the older guys will know what I'm talking about. That like Korogashi style. To really master Korogashi style really takes a lot of time, a lot of effort put in and set up, and a lot of throttle technique. Now, a lot of guys who come at CS and went into rear wheel drive will know that it was an easy switch. We found it a hell of a lot easy. I know for me personally, I found it very easy. Why? I hate how my hair is. It's really hot in Durban today. So the hair does funny things. Okay, so Marcia says, yeah, the guy that wants views and knows nothing about drifting. Well, I won't say nothing about drifting. I'd say that he does know a little bit, but he only knows part of it, and he appears to be coming from um, more of a content creator perspective than somebody who's genuinely deep into the hobby and is putting out content. So I that's where I put myself, that's where I slot myself in, somebody who's in the hobby but is putting out content. I'm not a content creator. Let's see, Wolf says, yes, I was pissed off as hell and Michelle cancelled it because lack of good drivers at 2017 Worlds. Also, the track was made for rear-wheel drive and was not drivable for CS. Okay, so Wolf's comments are in relation to cancelling of CS. Yeah, I can imagine, man. I mean, let's throw this opinion slash fact out there. If Michelle hadn't announced cancelling of CS at Worlds, there's a strong chance that CS would still be would have still carried on for at least another year or two, and uh, we would not have seen such a drastic and massive improvement in rear-wheel drive technology and rear-wheel drive design. That's my opinion. If Michelle hadn't cancelled CS, we would still see a number of years with CS, and we wouldn't have seen this massive jump in rear-wheel drive design and technology. I don't know how you guys feel. Let's hear in the comments what you guys think about that. Because do you guys share the same sentiments, or what do you think of that theory? I must admit, I did enjoy CS to an extent, and eventually I was just hating it because I could never get my car right. At the same time, though, I didn't have the same kind of uh, tuning knowledge that I have now. So I feel like if I have to go back to CS now, knowing what I do know now, I would do a hell of a lot better. But if we look at the skill levels of those who are at a high level now, and if they switch onto CS, they will be like the drift gods now, and I'll just sort of almost be catching up with them. But to be honest, we're not gonna have CS again. You'll have pockets of guys doing CS just for fun and just trying to enjoy the hobby, or sort of if they're feeling nostalgic and they want to go back, they got their CS chassis, you want to go back and drift it a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll be cool at some point. But really, the whole idea about being more realistic to real drifting and with the advancements of a rear-wheel drive, I don't think much people are ever going to go back to CS, even if they have that many CS chassis. So Wolf says, I loved CS and didn't like rear-wheel drive because of the gyro help, and still don't like it. Nobody needs skill anymore, just good electronics. Well, Wolf, I kind of agree and disagree with you. um, I agree that nobody needs skill anymore. It's just good electronics. I will agree with that, because companies like Overdose and Equivance and Yokomo and MST are putting out such good electronics that once you set it up nicely on a chassis, the chassis, I mean the drift, your drift chassis almost drifts itself. Let's be real, it's a fact. A lot of the experienced guys will say the same thing. Once they set up the electronics on the car, um, the car almost drives itself. You need very, very little input. You are able to keep your inputs, especially your steering inputs, you're able to keep it consistent and smooth. And I mean, we've got radios like the 10PX, the 7PXR, the 7PX, the M17, the Noble, and lots of other great radios out there that you're able to adjust everything from your throttle to everything. So you're able to really fine tune where it's like almost your car is on autopilot, almost. So in that regard, I would think yes, I do kind of agree with you there, Wolf. However, I disagree about the part with the gyro, about the gyro help. We all know with the rear-wheel drive, you really do need the gyro to help it along. But with that being said, I am gonna sound a little bit hypocritical here, but there are some guys out there who are going the non-gyro rear-wheel drive route. I did cover one of these guys in an earlier podcast in season two. I can't remember which episode, but the guy is Steve from Super G Drift. I've been in touch with him. I'm constantly in touch with him, getting some progress updates, and with unfortunately with Super G Drift at the moment, he's a little bit tied up, so he hasn't had a chance to go and revisit and spend more time. However, from the little that I have seen, from the little updates that he has given to me, it appears that drifting rear-wheel drive without a gyro is definitely plausible, and you're able to do it. So, but it's a lot of trial and error, it's a lot of effort, and definitely a whole lot of skill required, a massive amount of skill required. Okay, so Marcia says, and he's directing his comment to Wolf. As a noob, there is a lot of skill needed in rear-wheel drive. I don't know anything about CS driving, but coming from touring, it's a hell of a lot different. Maybe for you it felt easier coming from CS, but someone that hasn't drifted, it is challenging. Well, you actually have kind of a good point, to be honest, Marcio. Uh, I must admit, I did forget to look at it from that perspective, looking at it from somebody who hasn't drifted at all, getting into the hobby. However, I do have one example of someone who's done it, who's only ever done rear-wheel drive and actually is doing incredibly well. And that's Ziad from Cape Town. He was one of the guys that came up with us to compete at Worlds 2019, and he impressed a lot of people, and he's an incredible RC drifter. So when he first came up for nationals to Durban, actually at the time he had only been drifting for 6 months, and he took a podium position. Kid is amazing. Robnik, Hybo, you are here, my man. You are here. I was just talking about you earlier and talking about your your efforts and your observation about the new guys at the track, and we covered that whole topic. Uh, yeah, so thank you for sharing your comments and uh, allowing me to use your comments in my podcast. Really appreciate it, my man. So at the moment we're talking about rear-wheel drive, and I kind of forgot what exactly about rear-wheel drive, but we shared some CS stuff stemming from old Phil Harrison and his video that he posted on the Worldwide RC Drift group. Okay, Wolf says, I agree with you, but learning curve is quicker in rear-wheel drive. 100%. Absolutely true. The learning curve is very much quicker in rear-wheel drive. In CS, you can slide more easy, but driving in counter steer is a lot more challenging than rear-wheel drive after some time. That so I agree with you, Wolf, 110% with everything you have just said. I totally agree with that. For the guys that haven't ever driven CS before, you guys have no idea how challenging CS can be, especially to get it right, especially to be in a drift with and have your counter steer going properly the right way and without having too many steering inputs to keep your car in the also to keep the whole thing going on nicely. CS is um, a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing to master. Uh, a- there was some comments made a little while ago where some people have are of the opinion that in order to keep your rear-wheel drive skills sharp, aka the finger, you should revisit CS, because with CS there's a lot of throttle control that you need to have a huge amount of throttle control, because unlike with the rear wheel drive, you can catch your car on the throttle, but with CS it's not as forgiving. You will find yourself spinning out and a whole bunch of other stuff that you never thought will happen. Robnik, track etiquette, yes, that was part of it. Uh, we also shared some advice about how to behave at the track. Yes, track etiquette, but also about how to drive at the track, how to when you are leading or when you're following. Hello, Momo. Thank you for joining in, son. Really appreciate it. And welcome to my podcast, The B Rock RC Show. We are in season 3. You caught a little bit of the very first episode, so congrats to you. So yeah, that brings us pretty much to the close of rear-wheel drive and CS. So just to recap, as Wolf says, rear-wheel drive is a lot easier to drive than CS. It is a sharper, a quicker, should I say? It's a quicker learning curve than CS. CS takes a long while to master properly, and uh, you know, rear-wheel drive really is the way to go. We getting a lot of guys out there were saying, oh no, all-wheel drive is still drifting. Why do I need to get a rear-wheel drive? I got this car. Is it okay for drifting? No, guys, no. Rear-wheel drive is the way to go. It really is. If you really want to be in the hobby, if most times I'm quite sure that you have seen a video of drift cars either on a track or at a show or at a demo or somewhere, and you've seen how these guys are so smooth around the bends. They're drifting everywhere, they're counter steering, and most of the time, in fact, if not all of those videos, it's all rear wheel drive cars. Those those other cars that you see hooning around, Ken Block style, those are your ready to run uh, cars that's aimed at your entry level car, that's a beginner level. It's something just for you to bash around, just for you to get into the hobby and see what it's all about. It's not really to get into RC drifting. To get into RC drifting properly, like how you see in those videos, you need a rear wheel drive car, and that is the bottom line. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't start off with an all-wheel drive car, and I'm not saying that uh, you shouldn't get it at all, and that you should go straight into rear-wheel drive. But we giving you the heads up that if you want to be in this hobby, if you want to drift like how we drift, like how you see in the videos, don't waste your time with an all-wheel drive car. Get a rear-wheel drive car and start learning from now. The advancements in the design and technology will enable you to pick up that kind of skill very, very quickly. There's a lot of support everywhere out there for you to get your chassis right, and then you will enjoy it, and then you will be drifting like how you see in the videos, and then you'll be making your own videos. So think about it that way. Let's go back to the comments. I love reading your comments. I really do. I love interacting with you guys. So Wolf says, true Bob, I still run my Oriolai SFR01 and my YD4 from time to time. Nice, 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 nice. I still have my Streetjam OTA R31, which I absolutely adore, and I will never get rid of it because it's very, 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 very sentimental to me. Okay, Marcia says, then I am glad I didn't join drifting when CS was the thing, because rear wheel drive has me doing my head in. Oh, dude, if rear wheel drive is doing your head in now, you have no idea what CS was all about. No idea. Rob says, I'd like to see more if what I do on a new tune in doing grip laps to fine tune my setup, finding the slip and grip points. Then I know and feel my chassis. I've seen very few people do that. One of the people, and I'm sure we watch the same guy, is the D-like guys there who actually suggest training grip laps and doing some grip training before driving, before drifting, especially with the hybrid. But I'm sure Rob, you already know about that. You've seen that as well. So I've seen some very, very interesting things with the chassis, because I know I've seen one video where they were doing. He showed a little bit about some grip training, and then he went into a drift session, and afterwards he showed. Sorry about that. He showed the wheel wear on his chassis on the hybrid. And the most amazing part about that was that there was heavy wear on the front tires, almost the same as the rear tires, and I was like blown away. So it really tells you a lot about grip training, and a lot about what the D-like RER hybrid can do, and how it's supposed to, and how it's meant to be driven. Let's see. Mo says, can you do a demo of a rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive on the track so we can see the difference? Ah, man, you know what? I can show you a rear-wheel drive, but unfortunately, I don't have an all-wheel drive CS car setup, so I won't be able to show you. But I will keep that in mind. I do have some videos of our track days where we had a couple of guys with the all-wheel drive car and driving with a rear-wheel drive car, so I'll show you the difference. Let's see. Rob says, without that training I would never feel my damper settings. Yeah, I think so. Rob, I really got to bump up my skill level and bump up my drift game. I'm nowhere near anyway what you are doing right now and what you are experimenting with. I'm still trying to learn electronic tuning, forgetting about mechanical tuning. I'm still trying to learn electronic tuning here. So, um, last year has been quite a bit of a challenge, and this year started off with a whole different challenge. But hopefully, it's a step in in a better direction. So, fingers crossed, and I'm sure everything is going to be quite good this year. But yeah, I will keep in touch with you, see how your training is going. I'd love to do a follow-up episode with you, uh, and share with the world your training tips, your training, and your findings thus far. And I hope that you will indulge and allow me to share your findings. So let me know if you're interested, if you can. Uh, yeah, man. Let's see. It's about that time. It's been a great episode. Thank you once again for joining in into episode 1 of season 3. I can't believe I've made it right through to season 3. If for my old followers, guys who've been there from the beginning, you guys would know I started off on Facebook audio, as an audio only podcast, out of my car on the way home, and then later on at home in the car, and then later on eventually got to doing a video podcast. And I really appreciate all of the advice and the help in getting me set up to do this video podcast. I'm sorry about the whole camera scene today. I promise I will fix it. I will get it right. So, uh, just to whet your guys' appetite into next week's episode, I have a very, very interesting and very controversial um, bit of news that I would like to touch on. And if you guys have seen it, good for you. If you haven't seen it, please join in next week's episode where I will be touching on the issue or behind Super G Drift's a conceptual chassis which almost made it to the shelves. The Super G Drift SG1 rear-wheel drive chassis, and the whole issue behind why it didn't go into full production, why it wasn't put out there, and the story behind it involving another well-known name that everybody will know, and the man behind that whole scene there. So at the same time, I really gotta run it by Super G Drift, and just to make sure that they are okay with me talking about it, because I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Um, and if not, then I will simply direct you to what's going on, and then you guys can research it for yourselves. But yeah, thank you so much again for joining me on this episode of the B Rock RC Show. I'm your host, Bob Rock, and this is a live podcast for the drifters by a drifter. Please join me again next week, same time, same place, on my page at 9:30 Central African Time, which is South African time. You can also catch all of my previous episodes on my YouTube channel, the link to which is on the page under the About section. Please go and check it out there. If you haven't subscribed as yet, please do. So you can also keep in touch with with all the previous episodes, and I will be producing some new content. Again, I'm not a content creator, but I am gonna sort of touch onto that in a slightly different way, which I hope you guys will enjoy as well. Let's see. Wolf says, "Ooh, it's not controversial. It's a ripoff." Again, like I said earlier in the episode, I am Mr. Diplomatic, so I use diplomatic terminology Even the new pictures show the G or Super G. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But we will get into it next in next week's episode. Thank you once again to all you lovely, lovely people for joining in and showing your support by simply joining in. Even if it's a few minutes joining into the episode, I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you guys will stick with me on this journey in the world of podcasting and the world of RC drifting. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys' projects, listening in to what your opinions and what you guys think about the world of RC drifting. Also, with keeping in touch with you guys about what's the latest going on in your part of the world. I'm very, very keen. I will bring back track talk because I know you guys love that, and I know you guys love seeing me squirming and trying to pronounce words in different languages. I know you guys like that, but I must admit I enjoy too. So I will definitely be bringing that. I'd love to do more tracks from the Far East, especially countries I haven't been to: Thailand, Korea, Singapore, and then perhaps the new tracks out in the US, some in the UK. I'd love to do something out in Russia if there is a scene out there in Russia, but we will get to that. So thank you once again for joining in onto this episode of the B-Rock RC Show. Remember to please send in your comments and your criticisms about the episode. I welcome it all, and I will definitely use that to make the podcast better. So cheers once again. Keep well, take care, and I make sure you guys safe, sanitize, use a mask, vaccinate, whatever it is you guys want to do. But make sure you are healthy and safe and keeping your family safe, because I want to see you guys here next week.